I know, it's cute
Definitely.
though.
All right, we're
Mara, don't
live.
even start. That dog. It does.
Summer Parker leading the way, shining bright like the healing rays. 420 patients, we stand as one. Safe access for everyone. Oh, we rise up, lifted higher. Medicine fueled by love and fire. Together we blaze, together we laugh. Patients for safe access. That's the
The following production has been brought to you by the Hippie Broadcasting Network, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records. Now, here's your host, Summer Parker.
Hey, you little hippies. So, welcome back into our Patients for Safe Access weekly podcast. And this week, I did have a guest scheduled. We had some scheduling conflicts though. And so they're not here today with me. That's okay. We have enough to talk about. I can talk forever, right? Let's see. Charles says, one love from your Oklahomies. Hey, babe. He's just in the other room for me. But for y'all, he said hello. So this week, originally, let me start back. Last week, originally, I was scheduled to interview Justin Humphreys, who is a representative in this House in the state of Oklahoma. I'm going to get through my words, I promise. Anyways, Justin Humphreys goes by JJ Humphreys. He has a podcast that he does. He talks about what the Humphreys is going on. Especially on Hump Day on Wednesdays, he'll do like Facebook Lives and things like that. He is running for lieutenant governor for the state of Oklahoma, and I felt like it was important to bring him on because he deals with a lot of issues with the DHS system here in Oklahoma, with the foster care system, with youth offender issues. I brought it up before that he's been taking and addressing some issues with the Jesse Mack Butler case out of Payne County, Oklahoma, which if you don't know what that case is, go ahead and Google that. Way too much to get on here and talk about, and I'm not educated enough in that case to speak on it in my personal opinion. So I wouldn't want to speak out of turn and say something that wasn't true on that. So JJ he's a hothead. He doesn't mind challenging people if he's got a question to get the answers, which I absolutely love and adore. So we'll be having him on. There are some of his policies that I don't necessarily agree with, some of the bills that he's tried to run through the House. And so we're going to talk about those too, of course. We can't make it all fluff and stuff and nice, right? We got to be, a little bit oppositional and ask you, what the Humphreys was you thinking on some of this? So the other one was my guest for tonight, and that is Representative Cindy Munson, and she is running for governor of our state of Oklahoma, and she is on the Democratic ticket. So she's going to be a guest of mine sometime in the next 2 weeks. She'll be on the show, and we're wanting to talk with her more so about like cannabis policies moving forward in the future if she was to become our governor. And then there's some other people that have came out, and this week was filing week at the state capitol in Oklahoma. And so we actually have 611 candidates that filed in the state of Oklahoma. And it's an exciting turnout. Actually, that's a lot larger than I thought it would be. I would be interested to see the numbers compared to years before this as well, though, to see are those numbers up or are they down. So let me find really quickly here. say I'm going to find it quickly, but I'll probably not find it quickly, and that's okay too. I was going to look specifically for who all is running for the governor in the state of Oklahoma. I'll find that whenever we take our break for our commercials. That's what I'll do. So Charlie put a comment up here, and babe, I will get to all of these, I promise. He's like trying to jump me around here on stuff to talk about, which distracts me, and then I lose track of where I'm at. So no, I'm joking. So he wanted to bring up a special thanks to Greenleaf Labs, and he also says on here, #RX, I love your hash holes. So we'll start with the hash hole comment. And as you know, #RX has been one of my podcast sponsors for several months now, and we appreciate them doing so. They were actually our very first podcast sponsor, which was awesome. I had met them at Bluegrass on Bell when I was listening to Shane Keener and Safety Meeting, and they were playing there at the Bluegrass on Bell. Got an opportunity to speak with them, find out that I actually pretty much smoke at that point, nothing but their rosin for at least a year at that point. So this is what a hash hole looks like, just in case you guys are interested. I love the fact that they've got their sticker on there. This is a glass tipped product, which I prefer that as well. Looking really good. Nice and tightly rolled, tucked, not twisted. Tucked, not twisted matters. Some people say it's a weed snob thing. I think it's just the way it burns. So let's see here.
They have about a 20-minute burn on them.
They do have about a 20-minute burn, and that's with like several people enjoying the product at one time. We also have, this is a 2.5 gram product, and it says in here, flour is 2 grams and then 1/2 gram of live hash rosin. So find you a hash hole at a dispensary near you. Give it a try. This particular one is the caramel cutthroat crossed with platinum punch. So we've had several of these now, and we've really enjoyed them. They burn nice and slow. They burn evenly. When you do put it out, if you put it out, the relight doesn't taste like an ashtray. It, again, just tastes like your medical marijuana product. So good morning, good evening, Missy. I see you jumping in there. How are you, girl? So speaking of sponsors, you guys are aware that we are co-hosting a rally in the state of Oklahoma on April the 17th at the state capitol. This rally is being held that specific date because of the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority having their executive advisory council meeting that morning. So they start that around 9 a.m. and that will run till about 10:30 or so. And then after that, as we all exit the building to leave, from the meeting, we will be convening on the south side steps with a podium and sound system available. And we are inviting speakers to come that day to speak about how medical cannabis has helped you, whether you're a patient, a business owner, or any of those things. Also, if you feel like you just want to share your story with medical cannabis, example, say you're a business owner that was done wrong in this industry and you want to share that, you're more than welcome to come and share those stories as well. We just want to get it out there that this is about protecting patient rights. Our program in the state of Oklahoma has been under a threat of duress from our governor, who wants our program to be sent back to a vote of the people. So when State Question 788 got approved in the state of Oklahoma, it was ran on a special election, not on your general election ballot. And it was a petition initiative that the people of the state of Oklahoma got enough signatures to get it up there to where it could be voted on. Okay. 56.8% of those people that turned out as voters that day voted yes for medical marijuana in our state. So the fact that our governor has openly, actively spoke out against this program, a program that helps over 300,000 medical marijuana patient card holders in our state currently, okay? That is 300,000 plus constituents potentially that it helps as well. And my thing, I always try to implore legislators to hear and to understand is that there has got to be someone in your circle of family, of friends, of acquaintances that is benefiting from medical cannabis. Whether it's one of the kids that was part of the reason why we fought for this program. Oklahoma's program, was started by the kids. We have so many of the children that are largely recognized because of their parents pushing for medical cannabis in our state and pushing for it because of the benefit it would have for their child. In 2018, when State Question 788 came through, I myself was not a medical marijuana consumer at that point. However, I had a minor child in my home that experienced seizures. And I always knew that if nothing else, that medicine would benefit that child. So right away, I was all for signing 788, to be able to have it on the ballot, to be able to vote for it. I did vote yes for it. And then I found myself inside of a year later, needing medical cannabis myself for rehab for active addiction. And I spoke about this a couple of times now, and I don't mind speaking on it because it is the truth and it is, my journey to medical cannabis. But I went to rehab in 2019, got clean, got sober, and a couple of months in of being completely substance free, other than what they sent me home on from rehab, which was Suboxone, which I had actually asked them, I didn't want to be on anything that I would have to be on long-term for the rest of my life type of a thing. Come to figure out Suboxone was exactly that type of a medication, and I was not okay with that. So we got me away from that as well. But when we did, it made all those cravings come back. And I felt that need again. And I was scared because I felt like I was going to screw up. And like if I screwed up that time, it wasn't going to be, just a simple, I could try to repair it later situation. Everything that I loved that was near and dear to me, I was going to lose. And there was nothing that I could do to save it if I made that choice. And so I started consuming marijuana concentrates. And that was the best thing for me because it hit fast, it hit hard, it hit strong, and it took away those needs in the moment. Hang on just a second, sorry. I got a sore throat. There we go. It took away those needs in the moment. And so I know wholeheartedly that medical cannabis saved my life. I would not be sitting here today talking to you about medical cannabis, and I would not care the way that I care so deeply and so passionately about having the access to safe, quality medicine in final forms at all times if it weren't for the fact that I myself know that it saved my life. And if we're going to continue saving lives with medical cannabis, we have to make sure that it's safe, quality medical cannabis. So I get asked sometimes, why do I test the products and things of that nature? And well, what did I expect? Don't I know better? Things like that. And no, you don't know better because you're told to trust companies when you buy their products from the dispensary level. And when you trust a company and you believe them, and then you find out later that, something that you consumed was contaminated or harmful or failed to test or any of those things, that's harsh. That's harsh. And it builds a passion to want to make sure that that doesn't happen to someone else, period, point blank. And that's what we built Patients for Safe Access off of. That's what my fiance, when he had heard one more truth about how a contaminated product had affected someone, and it just almost broke him. It almost broke me. We both sat there and we cried after we got off the phone with that person. And we cried because everything we had done up to that point, we had done in exposing harmful companies and brands and things like that, and putting our likeness and identity out there and putting our safety at risk. All of those things that we had done so that that phone call never had to happen. Because the regulatory agency handles things the way that they do, that phone call happened. And it shouldn't have. And so that's where Patients for Safe Access was born, was literally out of that phone call. That's when we sat down, like we had decided that at that point we were not going to test. Patients for Safe Access was not even a conceptual thought yet or anything like that. And Charles and I had decided, you know what, we had tested, a bunch of the stuff that we ourselves had consumed. We had found the answers to our own personal questions to a certain degree, and we were just going to be done with it. Like we needed to figure out a way to move on with our life at that point. And when that call happened, it literally changed the trajectory of the next 2 years after that. And it built this obsessive need to know what's in the products that we're consuming from a consumer safety standpoint, due to the fact that the regulatory agency continues to fail us as patients, whether it be their recall procedures, their inspections, their administrative actions, all kinds of things that they have failed us as consumers and patients of the program. So that's my thought process on all that. I'll get off that little soapbox here. Hang on just a second. There we go. So let's talk about some of these representatives that are going to be running that we do know for sure, not just representatives and senators, they're going to be running that we do know. And so we do know that Gentner Drummond is going to be running for governor in our state as well. And he's on the Republican ticket. And the whole reason I'm even going to give him his 30 seconds right here, right now, because if he gets voted in, okay, as our next governor, I foresee the program in Oklahoma continuing to be under a threat. Continuing to be something that they will try to annihilate and rid of. So he is not for our program. The one thing that I have seen out of the Attorney General's office during the last 2.5 years is that whenever you have someone of certain hues of shades of skin, okay, and in Oklahoma, they're always talking about the Chinese illegal grows and things like that. And so what we have seen in this state is that if you are Chinese illegal grow, okay, Hao Chen, we'll just use him as an example, Hao Chen. He recently had, the AG's office did a big investigation called blunt force type of a thing, because we got blunts in Oklahoma, right? We got blunts everywhere. But anyways, blunt force. Charlie calls it blunt force trauma, because they actually, what did they get him on, Charles?
Racketeering charges.
So they got him on racketeering charges. They extradited him back from another state to Oklahoma. I think it's on a $1.5
billion that they were moving with marijuana.
So the charges include $1.5 billion in marijuana that was being moved around, trafficked around, racketeering, right? So you have that going on. Then you have over here, you have several times now where we have seen a rich Caucasian male who has taken actions against patients, businesses, things of that nature. Straw ownerships. Okay. We've had contaminated products, multiple recalls, things of that nature, right? And none of these people are being charged with anything criminal whatsoever. Now, let me tell you something. Graves Farm specifically, okay, one of the issues that they determined and found in their investigations and discussed in their court proceedings was that they were cherry picking batches, cherry picking samples basically, and the batches weren't representative of, or the COA wasn't representative of the batch because they would only make up enough to go out and test at times, test that, and then finish making the batch itself, which is against the rules and regulations, right? And why is it against the rules and regulations? Because at that point you can just put Mickey Mouse and Pluto in there and you've got a clean COA. So what the hell does it matter? Okay. So you have companies doing stuff like that, that whenever we purchase their products off of the dispensary shelves, these products failed miserably for pesticide fails and heavy metal fails. Pesticides alone, okay, 22 different chemicals that we found in products in Graves Farms, Alien House, and other companies, okay, that were at failing levels, 22 chemicals that we identified. The state of Oklahoma only tests for 13 pesticides, guys, 13. Okay. So if you think that they were taking clean product, sending it out for a COA, and then putting clean product behind that COA when they filled their orders, well, then you're just jaded. Because how did contaminated product get in there then? You know what I mean? It's because the processor put it in there. They sent product out knowing full well that it wouldn't pass a test and didn't give a shit about the human health and consequences to their actions, which in my opinion are criminal actions because it is willful poisoning of our medicine. Because especially if you damn well knew, because you already R&D'd your product and you knew it was dirty, but instead of disposing of that, instead of doing the right thing, instead of handling the procedures properly, you would rather send it out into your product line to the retail shelves, to the consumers who are basically paying your paycheck and keeping your company open. Make it make sense to me, y'all. There are no criminal charges for actions for people like that. And do you want to know why? Again, and I'm not somebody who pulls race into things, but these people specifically were rich white guys who got to do whatever they wanted to do to our medicine, to put it on the shelves for us to buy and consume, for dispensaries to get a bad name off of when it isn't the dispensary's fault, okay? They get to go on with their best life. They get to go on and move out of Oklahoma, okay, and go be a dirty scumbag criminal in another state, because Oklahoma allows these people safe passage by only handling them in an administrative proceedings. Example, Graves Farms alone was fined $133 million, okay? You found enough infractions, enough problems, enough issues that you could fine a company $133 million, but you didn't find anything criminal? I don't understand that, y'all. Make that make sense. Make it make sense, because it just doesn't to me. So
those are federal chemical violations when you're outside the 13.
State of Oklahoma has an approved pesticide list that can be used on medical marijuana. A lot of people don't realize that or know that, but it is on the Department of Ag's website for the approved pesticides for cannabis sativa, for hemp/marijuana. Okay. And if you are using chemicals outside of that approved chemicals list, then you are actually violating federal chemical laws.
You're supposed to be prosecuted by the state and federal government.
Hold on. Dispensaries here, it's not even real products. Chemicals, edibles shouldn't taste like cleaning supplies. Skylar, are you here in Oklahoma? If you are and you're buying products that are tasting like that and you would like for us to test it, reach out to me. Send me a DM because, yeah, I don't think that edibles should taste like chemicals or cleaning supplies. That scares me a little bit, a lot of bit, actually. Let's see. Charles was also in here saying that the OMMA failed to submit the failed testings in court to the judge. And what he means by that is we went to almost every single administrative court proceeding date for Grace Farms. And not one time in that whole court case did they actually bring up and bring forward that there were failed tests for pesticides for this company, okay? What they did bring up is that things were improperly tested. Does that mean the same thing? Not to me, it doesn't, but apparently that's the verbiage that they use to make it make sense. So,
actually busted it for plus minus.
yeah, that was one of the things that you got popped for really bad was plus minuses and metric. So if you guys are doing plus minuses and metric, just know if they metric mine you and find that shit, you're done for. You're done for. All right. Charles also says Patients for Safe Access ran House Bill. He said 3031 is not 3031.
My bad.
3013.
My bad. Dyslexic.
And that was for an expanded pesticide panel, but it actually did not even make it to committee. So I'm a little disheartened with that. But I did see that Representative Jacob Rosencrantz, which he is the one who was running House Bill 3013 this year, he had no challenger. So he is automatic. He will be in the building another 2 years. So congratulations, Jacob. And I look forward to working with you in the coming legislative session to ensure that we can get that pesticide expansion panel done. We need to do better at protecting the patients in our state. And right now, the bare minimum is not going to work. We are 50th in education. We are the bottom of so many categories. Come on, Jacob, let's get to the top on being the best about protecting our patients in our medical program. I challenge you, sir. So, let's see here. Hippie, I'm going to let you take us out for commercial. And when we come back from commercial, we are going to talk about the cannabis survey and the rally coming up. So, talk to you soon.
Nugs of many sizes, munchies, trippy friends, and stash jars are some of the gifts you'll find here at LoveNugBuds.com for a unique gift for your 420 friend. Love Nug Buds will have what you want in the end.
Are you searching for affordable products and great rosin? Well, look no further. Whether you're keeping it simple or going all out, we've got you covered. Sunny's for everyday deals, and Hash RX for that premium fire. Sunny's keeps your stash affordable, giving you value every single day. When you want the best, Hash RX. Oklahoma's premium live rosin. No solvents, no shortcuts. Affordable or premium, the choice is yours. Find us at Oklahoma dispensaries.
All right, listen up, you dirty hippies. Have you ever stepped out of the shower, still felt like you wrestled a skunk, lost, and then rolled around in a pizza box? Yeah, that's because you ain't using Seed Squatch soap. Out deep in the misty forest where the pine trees are tall and the air is fresh, the legend of the Seed Squatch roams free. That big hairy legend figured something out a long, long time ago. If you're gonna smell like a beast, you might as well smell like a good one. Seed Squatch soap is packed with Bigfoot-level scents like Thunderfang Pineapple, Chocolate Banana Mountain King, Squatch's Secret Gardenia, and wild blade lemongrass. These aren't your grandma's soap bars, man. These are rugged, legendary, forest-focused, scented bombs designed to turn your shower into a rock concert for your nose. Every bar is crafted for the wild ones, the rebels, the stoners, the legends. So when you step out of that shower, you don't smell like regret and yesterday's burrito. You smell like a mystical forest rock god. Right. So do yourself a favor, wash your hairy ass the legend way, get yourself some Seed Squatch soap, because life is too short to smell like a regular human. Seed Squatch soap. Clean like a legend, smell like a myth.
Welcome to the shop where the colors come alive. Collectors dream and never shine like fireworks in the sky. Stacked to the ceiling with stories in light. Magic in the air when the toys play at night. Robots spinning, Game Boys flashing, action figures strike a pose. Barbie's got her sunglasses on, G.I. Joe's in hero mode. Arcade lights and vintage signs, glowing warm and bright. Everybody smiles when the toys play at night. Race cars roaring down the aisle like thunder and chrome. Furby's waking up like they just found home. Every shelf's a treasure map, everything feels right. Step into the wonder when the toys play at night.
Hello, we are back. Usually there's a thing that says, and we're welcoming back. I was caught off guard there. Okay, so welcome back to our Patients for Safe Access weekly podcast. This week we are discussing all kinds of great things in Oklahoma. And before the break, we were talking about some of the candidates that are going to be running this year. And so I was able to find my notes that I was looking for at the front. And we have had the honor and pleasure of interviewing some of these candidates to be in the past. And we also are going to be interviewing some in the future as well. So we had interviewed in the past Nikayla Jasmine Thomas, and proud to say that she got her filing in yesterday or day before. And she is on the Democratic ticket for U.S. Senator. And she is looking to fill the seat that was once the seat for Senator Mark Wayne Mullen. And so she has some competition, though, because she has 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 2 independents running for that seat. So in the governor's race for our state for this round, we have 9 Republicans, 3 Democrats, and 3 independents running. And I have had the pleasure of interviewing Robert Brooks on the independent ticket and Connie Johnson on the Democratic ticket. And I am looking to interview Miss Munson, Cindy Munson. I believe we're going to try to do that one on the 25th, possibly. So if you have cannabis Q&A that you want to ask these legislators to be, who would like to be representing you, let's make sure to ask them the tough questions. We are going to create a pledge, okay? And this pledge is basically going to be something that we can present to the legislators, and it will have them agreeing to not repeal the program. We're not going to take it away, but we're going to commit and pledge to revamping it and improving it. And that will also include listening to community feedback as to how this program needs to be improved. Because if we can give them the tools to succeed, which is what the program needs to be able to be improved, successful, standalone, no issues. Well, we're always going to have some issues, but you know what I mean. We're striving for the best possible outcome, right? So if we can give them those tools to succeed by telling them what we need from them, then they can go to work for us and give us exactly that. Instead of it seeming like that the Capitol is a bunch of, oh, well, this is what I think should happen, so I'm going to run a bill and see if it works out. Quit running a bill on a, whoops, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. talk to the community, do roundtables, do feedback, do surveys, things like that. Get your constituents real, honest, truthful feedback, and then vote accordingly. Don't vote how you want to vote. That's not your job. Your job is to vote how your constituents want you to vote, what they are for and what they are not for. So there's that. Do better. No. So we're going to talk about the survey and the rally both. So I think I want to talk about the rally first. The rally is Oklahoma. Oh, that's the survey. Whoa, go survey first. Nope, go for it, hippie. Throw it up there. Okay, guys. So this right here is a survey, and the Cancer Center of Excellence, Synergistic Cannabis Consulting, and Patients for Safe Access of Oklahoma. The three agencies groups have formed together, and we have created a survey. This survey is for all medical marijuana patients and caregivers in the state of Oklahoma. Now, before you get mad at me, if you're not in Oklahoma, it's okay, because this survey is rapidly going to expand into other states as well. So this survey is about a 5-minute long survey, and we would like to ask you as patients and business owners to please log in and take the survey. Let me tell you right here, this right here says, a new 2026 statewide research initiative is inviting Oklahoma medical marijuana patients, veterans, and caregivers to share their experiences in a first-of-its-kind citizen science study focused on health outcomes, access, and patient perspectives. The anonymous and confidential study is designed to generate evidence that can inform policymakers, healthcare providers, and public health leaders across Oklahoma. The 2026 Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Patient Research Study is a citizen science study led by the Cancer Center of Excellence, Inc., in partnership with Patients for Safe Access and Synergistic Cannabis Consulting. This anonymous 5-minute online survey is open to Oklahoma residents who are Oklahoma medical marijuana patients or OMA-approved caregivers, patients, and guardians of pediatric patients who have consumed medical marijuana within the past 30 days. Patients can take the survey here. So we've got the QR code up there. I'll also put the link to the survey on the YouTube and Facebook side of this, okay? So in this survey, we are going to be talking about health conditions and symptoms treated with medical marijuana, example, chronic pain, anxiety, PTSD, cancer, etc. We're also going to be asking about symptom management and the impact on quality of life as a result of your medical marijuana use. Use of medical marijuana as a substitute for prescription and or over-the-counter medications. Use of medical marijuana as a substitute for other substances, including opioids, alcohol, and tobacco. Access, affordability, and medical marijuana product selection, use, and preferences. Patient and healthcare provider communication regarding medical marijuana use, and perspectives on the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Program in 2026. Patients and the public are invited to learn the study findings on July 1st, 2026 through a webinar and report. Please sign up for the study for more information, and you can take the survey and we'll do the link. And let's see. Yep, the other part was that. So like he's got the flyer up there. So we launched this survey live, I want to say it was Thursday at noon. And within 24 hours, we had already received over 40 responses to the survey. There have been some people that said that the link didn't work properly. It was taken onto a malicious site and things like that. The rest of my team has went back. We've checked the link. We've tried it ourselves. If you try the link and it says something like that, try opening it with a different browser to see if that will help you. So, because it does seem to be working for the majority of people, but if you have an issue with it, just let me know, send me a DM or something like that, and we will do our best to get it fixed. And that way you can participate in the survey. One of the great things about this survey is that we're also, like I said in the beginning, we're going to be expanding this thing very rapidly. We have a business survey as well that will be launching very soon, as well as Georgia. I talked with them yesterday, Georgia Medical Cannabis Society, Yolanda Bennett, and I believe that they are going to be working with the team members that helped facilitate this survey for Oklahoma to try to bring something very similar to Georgia. Now, let me tell you why we are doing this, okay? One, we want to combat the false narrative numbers that the state continues to put out in their expert reports, okay? And the supply and demand study being one of them, the taxonomy report being another one. And so we want to be able to have real life raw data from the community that we can say, no, here, you're saying this, but our data shows this, okay? And having patient involved survey takers and business owner survey takers is so important. Guys, I just really would love your support in taking the survey. Dr. Marion McNabb from Cancer Center or Cannabis Center of Excellence is one of the driving forces behind this survey. She is a great person. She's got a lot of knowledge and know-how and connections to make this survey happen, get it built, get it launched, and get some real data going. So I just want to say thank you to her and to Katie Nail both. Katie Nail is one of our OMMA Executive Advisory Council members. She is the patient representative on the council for us. And she is the one that has synergistic cannabis consulting. So those are the three women powerhouses that are trying to put this together. So great team of girls. So let's talk about the rally. I had told you earlier that we picked the specific date that we did because of the EAC Council, right? So then at 11 a.m., we're going to kick off that rally. Hey, Sean, how are you? We are going to kick off that rally. We're going to open up that mic. The EAC meeting only allows people to talk for like 3 minutes and only 10 people. That's not enough. So we're going to allow people to speak, how long their heart contends. No more than 30 minutes. No, I'm joking. We will keep it moving, of course, but I'm sure everybody will be super respectful of that. Speakers wise, we have Reefer Ronnie. He's going to be there speaking that day. Old School will be there. Connie Johnson will be there. James Leda Boucher, who is a recent married man. Congratulations to him and Wendy. Vet Maps, Veterans 22. Thunder Walker, Charles, myself, I believe Marion McNabb is going to speak about the survey and stuff. I think Katie's going to come and speak. We've invited other EAC members to be there to speak. We're also inviting legislators. We're asking them to come down because we want them to hear from us directly, what it is we need from them. And if they can hear how this program has benefited so many people, maybe they'll quit putting it under such a crazy attack plan. I don't know how else to say that. Reefer madness to the max. I really thought we were getting somewhere in 2022, 2023, 2024. And we were things were going a lot better for cannabis patients and stuff in the state. But now it's literally reefer madness all over again. They're resurrecting all that crap at us. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? What did we do? We didn't do anything. They'll allow, right here in Skytook, Oklahoma, in my hometown, we have a barbecue place here in town called Max Barbecue. And I'm going to go into some details about that company later. But they have Max Mayfest every year. This is right off of a Oklahoma state highway that runs through the heartbeat of every small town America town, okay? And they have Max Mayfest every year, and they allow alcohol consumption at the event and things of that nature, yet you're kind of frowned on if you're going to smoke a joint out there. The police from our town literally attend this restaurant all the time. They attend this event. They're there during the event, and they will watch people be consuming alcohol at this event, get into their cars, and get out onto the state highway and leave this event. Now, I don't care if you only had one beer. I don't care if you're under the threshold. Like, you're literally drinking at an event and leaving from the event, and nothing is being done or said about that. But yet, if I light up a joint at that same event, I'm going to be asked not to, or to like walk away, remove myself, things of that nature. Cool, I get it. It's a smell versus a taste. But you know what? The smell of alcohol is absolutely repulsive to me. So just saying. I didn't mean to get off on that topic, but I felt like I needed to say that for some reason. Let's see. T-shirts. Sponsors for our T-shirts for the rally. Okay, guys. So we have gotten sponsors for quite a bit of the T-shirt fund. If you would like to secure a shirt for yourself for the rally, to know that you're going to get one there that day, hit me up. We would like for you to donate, if possible, to have your shirt held basically for you, right? So the shirts, we're hoping to have somewhere between 50 to 100 shirts. Depends on the total sponsor payout. If I don't get enough sponsor funding to pay for the whole order, then I will have to ask for, a certain amount for shirts as well. So not near as much as they might have been before, but still maybe something. We'll know more in the next 5 to 7 days on that for sure. Some of our sponsors for our shirts has been JKJ Processing, Old School & Co. / Reefer Ronnie. Reefer Ronnie, he donated to be able to get Old School's logo on the shirt, which was awesome. We have Rocking Star Farms, Greenleaf Labs, Havard Labs, Patients for Safe Access, Ashlocks Distribution, and Stability Cannabis. Woo! Woo! So those are our main sponsors so far. Thank you to all of those. And if I haven't received your payment yet, please get with me. If you need me to send you an invoice for that, I can. And we also are going to be bringing on board some new sponsors in the near future. Oh, let me see what Skylar said here. Skylar said, Fox News said, cannabis is more addictive, kills more than alcohol. Hell no. Heifer, please. They got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. These people have done bumped their damn head. You know what? Speaking of articles, what is it? Spray packs? Yeah, spray pack marijuana is addicting. So, I hope that people are checking into who their growers are and who they trust and stuff. Because, yeah, spray pack is no joke. Let's see here. What was I going to say there? I had a brain fart. So, hold on. I got to find it. I hope it don't stink too bad. Okay, here it is. I found it. There was an article put out by Cannabis Business Times, and it is actually about our citizen scientist survey. So we are already getting national attention in Oklahoma for the survey. And I've been contacted by people in other states about our rally, about what can they do to support us, people talking about wanting to come in and come speak at the rally from out of state. So, Oklahoma, the community, the cannabis community, we are getting noticed. We are having, they are paying attention to us. And so I think this is the right time to go after how to fix our program best. So, Charlie, did you have anything that you wanted to add this evening?
Just everybody wear your green in
Yes.
support of medical marijuana.
Turn the Capitol green, April 17th. Wear your green. The shirts that we have that we're ordering are green with a white cannabis leaf on the front. The white cannabis leaf stands for pure, clean, safe, medical cannabis on the green, right? And then our sponsors' logos are going on the back.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day.
It's going to be an amazing day. April 17th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. At the end of the rally, we will be walking over to the Connors building, and we're not calling it a march, a walk, whatever it is. We're just going to meander that way. Okay. And we will have posters there that day. Bring your own, please, as well. Mine is a white poster that's just going to say do better. And I just want to stand there in front of the Connors building, in front of the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority, and just remind them that they need to be doing better, period.
Yeah, everybody wear green. If you don't want to tell your story, sit on the steps of the Capitol with us. Light up a joint. Listen to other people's stories. You can't pass medicine around in Oklahoma, so bring your own medicine.
Bring your own medicine, or you can share CBD or THCA. So.
Yeah, you can find that at any gas station in Oklahoma. Thank you, Governor Stitt, for not enforcing the law.
As written. All right, you guys. Much love. One love. And I'm going to catch you guys next week. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Shining bright like the healing rays. 420 patients, we stand as one. Safe access for everyone. Oh, we